What's good, y'all? It is your boy Ghiman Mckinney. We back here with another video for you, and I got a guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Talk to me. My name's Jerry. I ain't got no YouTube channel, but you can add me on Snapchat, Instagram, JJEREBLY at On The Money.
All right, yep. Description, so y'all know the deal, but let's get right into it. So today, if you read the title of the video, we're going to be talking about 5 teams that we think can win the Super Bowl and kind of give a little bit of insight on why. I'll kind of start off a little bit and then, he going to add on. All right, y'all. So I kind of based my top 5 kind of like on how good you are for one and like kind of, where your seeding is. So like if you're a number 1 seed, like I believe that like the Packers, back in 2011, they won as a wild card team. That was a great year for us. The last team to win as a wild card was the New York Giants. That was like 5-6 years ago, over Tom Brady. So I mean, home field does really matter. So I mean, if your team might be talented enough, but they don't got a top seed, it's hard to win 3 road games. So I kind of base it off that, and let's just get started. So for me, the Houston Texans are number 5 for me. You gotta have a great quarterback in the playoffs. You just do. And Deshaun Watson is a top 3 young quarterback to me. He's a dual threat quarterback. So I mean, when plays break down, he can scramble for first downs. He's got a great arm. I mean, I thought he should have made the Pro Bowl, but he didn't. But that's another story. Their O-line really, really does concern me. That's about the only weakness of their team. They have great receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, he's nice. He's great. He's a top 5 receiver. I'll get into that another day, but he's great. Lamar Miller's a little hit and miss, but I do think he's a solid running back when healthy. They have a great defense. JJ Watt can get after the passer. Jadeveon Clowney too. Linebacker's pretty solid. Their DBs worry me a little bit. They're gonna be in a lot of tough luck with Andrew Luck this week, but their safeties are great. I just think that they're dynamic. They have a great roster. Since starting 0-3. They're 11-5. They're one of the best teams right now roster-wise. So I got the Texans at number 5. The Chargers, now I'm going to say this. If the Chargers were probably a, top 2, maybe even a 3 seed, I would probably put them like close to number 1 or 2 on my list. But I can't do that right now. It's hard to win 3 straight road games. It's just hard. I mean, boy, what you doing? But anyway, the Chargers, they have a great pass rush. With Joey Bosa coming back, he's really ignited that pass rush and that team. Casey Hayward's one of the best shutdown corners. Derwin James, defensive rookie of the year candidate. He's great. Their defense is great. They have a top 10 offense, top 10 defense. They have a great O-line, unlike the Texans. Phillip Rivers, he's having an MVP type year, and he knows that clock's ticking, so he's hungry, man. They got great wide receivers, Mike Williams, he's playing well. Keenan Allen, Melvin Gordon is back. Like I said, I do think they'll beat the Ravens this coming week, but it's tough to win 3 straight road games. They choked it away versus the Ravens. Back in LA, they had the opportunity number 1 seed, but I do think that they're clear number 4 to me. The Chiefs to me, now I do think the LA Chargers are a better team than the Chiefs. They got the most Pro Bowlers, like I said, but the Chiefs, they got home field, so I think that they're a clear cut team to probably potentially get to the Super Bowl at number 3. They have the best offense, that's no doubt. Patrick Mahomes, he's an MVP candidate. He's thrown 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. Now he does turn the ball over a lot. That really concerns me. He's a gunslinger. He fumbles a little bit. He holds onto the ball, but he's dynamic. He's a playmaker. He's made play after play. He's had to overcome a terrible defense. That's really what concerns me, and the reason why I don't have them in my top 2. Their defense is terrible. Statistically, it's one of the bottom 5 in the league. They get penalized a whole lot. And they don't take the ball away a whole lot, but they do. They're near the top of the league in sacks. I think when I look back, they were top 2 or 3 in the league in sacks. So situationally, you get pressure on quarterbacks. They can make some things happen on defense, but the defense is what's holding me back with them. So I got them at number 3. I think the Rams at number 2. are a clear-cut better team than the Saints as far as talent goes. Aaron Donald, he's a monster. Probably the best defensive player in the league right now. Like 20 sacks as a D tackle. Ooh, that's a lot.
Go crazy.
He go crazy. But Jared Goff, he had a stretch where he acted like he didn't know how to play football, where he threw like 6 interceptions through like a 3-game stretch. But he's had a great year. Todd Gurley is a top 2 running back to me right now. They can run the ball. Sean McVay is very creative. They have a top 2 seed, so I do think they'll win a home playoff game. But the Saints already beat them, so I have them at number 1. I do think, like I said, the Rams can make things interesting in a rematch. It's hard to beat a team twice in a year. But I just think the Saints, Drew Brees has not lost a home playoff game. He's completing over 70% of his passes, which is amazing. Alvin Kamara is a weapon. I do get a little concerned because the Saints don't have a whole lot of speedy type wide receivers. Michael Thomas, he's really good. By the way, Michael Thomas, what school he go to? Old State. We got some hounds there. But anyway, yeah, Michael Thomas, he's a great 50-50 ball receiver. He's a great route runner, and a possession receiver, but they don't have a whole lot else outside him. Sean Payton does a great job scheming people open, and getting matchups, but they don't have a whole lot of speedy wide receiver guys. And their defense is pretty good. They got Cameron Jordan rushing the passer. They're always in the right spot. They're middle of the pack defensively. They have a top 2 run defense. But yeah, I just think with Drew Brees in that Superdome, they've been the best team all year. They've beaten some of the best teams. I just think they're a clear-cut number 1 team, and they should be your favorite to come out and win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm going to break down this as it goes, but they should be your clear-cut favorite. But I do think the Rams are a little more talented than them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me as far as like the teams that I kind of come to the conclusion of are the 5 best teams. I have the right to change my mind, like I said, but you want to give your top 5 teams in order?
So my top 5 teams. At number 5, I got the Ravens, simply because everybody's rooting for Lamar Jackson. Everybody in the black community is rooting for Lamar Jackson to go big.
We got the best defense too.
Best defense. It's mostly about Lamar Jackson, but the defense, that's what's probably gonna win it all in all, because y'all know, of course, defense wins championships. But we all want to see that boy succeed. We want to see the Ravens succeed. The Ravens haven't been successful in so long. All y'all Ravens fans, y'all finally coming out the cracks in the Dom.
Oh yeah, Dom.
Number 4, I got the Texans, because they just fundamentally sound. I think they can get it done for sure if they put their mind to it. Because number 1, they got one of the best receivers in the game, DeAndre Hopkins. He has like 100-some receptions, no drops.
Yeah,
Glue for him. That's all I'm saying. Number 3, I got the Rams, because they just been having a great season. Like every single time you see a team going up against the Rams, you know it's gonna be a good game. Rams and the Chiefs, that was the best game I think I've seen in like the last 3 years. I promise you.
I watched
that game. Was great. It was high scoring, yes, but they were going head to head and they battled it out to the end. Even though the Chiefs came on top, the Rams still showed that they can hold their own and that they.
What?
After discussing with him, I actually figured out that the Rams won the game. So that's even better, because the Rams already beat the Chiefs once this season. Talk to me. Let's get money. Number 2, I got the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they got threats all over the field. It's a win-win situation. They got a great quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, probably one of the best young quarterbacks there is right now, next to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson still got a couple years. He do too. Patrick Mahomes, for sure, one of the best young quarterbacks. Kareem Hunt, even though he's out, he gave them a lot of momentum moving forward, so they're going into the playoffs with a bunch of momentum. Yeah, that's pretty much it about them. The Saints, number 1. Of course, y'all already know what I'm about to say. Drew Brees. That man he's a GOAT. He's one of the GOATs. He's not the GOAT, but he's one of the GOATs for sure. Top 5, in my opinion, I can see Drew Brees making top 5. Y'all can't forget about, they got a pretty solid defense, and they got probably the best running back, Alvin Kamara. That man's an animal.
I go with Zeke as the best running back, but
man,
he nice.
Is Zeke gonna take him to the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's a team game. Does Adrian Peterson have a Super Bowl? He don't want an MVP.
AP something. We ain't gonna speak on AP, right? He had a comeback season. But yeah, Alvin Kamara, that man's been putting up. He's on my fantasy team, by the way. He's been putting up consistent points all year. He's been helping the team out very much so all year. All in all, I got the Saints coming down on top. That's my number 1, of course. That's my top 5 right there.
this video, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. You know,
subscribe.
hit up my boy Jerry.
My
you know,
name's Jerry.
I'll put it in the description. You know, his Instagram, like social media,
Snap,
things like that. Hit him up. You know, that's my dude right there.
My dog.
No doubt. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, hit that like button, subscribe, share with friends, get people hip to this channel. It's been your boy Ghiman Mckinney and Jerry, and we go.
Chelsea.